Now at 4 o'clock, the question of the day. Did you feel it? The strongest earthquake that hit this close to New York City in more than 100 years. Shakes the entire tri-state. Centered in New Jersey, it was felt everywhere from Yankee Stadium to Albany, and we've got live team coverage. Good afternoon on a busy day. I'm David Ushery.
And I'm Natalie Pasquarello. We haven't felt an earthquake that strong, that close to the city in our lifetime. So here's what we know right now. The magnitude 4.8 earthquake hit New Jersey just before 10:30 this morning. It was centered in Hunterdon County. That's about 40 miles west of New York City. Now, the USGS estimates that 42 million people felt it. And despite the shaking, the impact has thankfully been minimal.
Yes, so far no reports of any injuries. Just minimal damage, as Natalie said. The MTA says that subway service was not affected. And New York City schools did have regular dismissal today.
Earthquakes don't happen every day in New York. So this can be extremely traumatic.
We actually felt it here in the Capitol in Albany. People felt it on Long Island.
And our friends and colleagues here at 30 Rock felt it as well. So we have live team coverage across the state, starting with News 4's Jessica Cunnington, live near the epicenter. Jessica.
Yeah, what a day it has been. This was the strongest earthquake to hit New Jersey in 241 years. But officials here in Hunterdon County, very grateful to report that there was no one injured. No one has been displaced, but damage assessments are underway at this hour across this entire area. They say that they are just now receiving some reports of some structural damage at people's homes. But I want to take you inside some people's homes with so much surveillance video camera footage that's been posted across social media where you literally could see what people felt. You see the shaking of the camera. This is in Tewksbury, the epicenter of this 4.8 magnitude earthquake. It's shaking around, obviously, the bleeped out words of people reacting to what was going on. In Middlesex, you could see and hear when books and items fell off the shelves inside that home. You could see how intense the shaking of the camera was, and that's what people described feeling throughout their body at 10:23 this morning in this area. At this point, officials here in Hunterdon County urging people or business owners to report any damage that's occurred so they could get a sense of really how widespread the impacts are. And by the way, this is the second earthquake this area has experienced in about a month.
We saw that, immediate influx of 911 call volume. Basically, folks that were worried and, uncertain as to what had happened. But as quickly as that spiked, we saw it kind of wax and wane, so to speak. So at this point, it's alarming. It's the second earthquake that we've had within the last month or so in generally the same area.
I was just reading a book with the kids, and next thing I knew, the whole house was shaking, and I was trying to organize, get the kids in one spot so I could figure out what was going on, because I really had no idea what was going on.
Yep, pretty much the feeling across this area. Now, the town administrator over in Tewksbury told me that the governor's office gave them a call offering any support that they may need in the coming hours and coming days. The lieutenant governor of New Jersey telling NBC that they've activated the state's emergency operations center and are at the ready to help any municipalities out for any support. They've also been in communication with FEMA. A wild Friday, to say the least, here in the borough of Lebanon and the surrounding areas. I'm Jessica Cunnington. Back to you.
Wild indeed, Jessica. And this might have been your first time feeling an earthquake like this.
Yeah, we want to bring in Storm 24's Dave Price to kind of explain some of the science behind this quake, Dave.
All right, let's try and put it in elemental terms and talk about what happened today. If we look at the magnitude of today's earthquake, it was intense and it was rare for this region. But when we examine recent footage of earthquakes like the one in Taiwan, there are areas where more frequent and more powerful tremblors occur. So let's take a moment to go through the anatomy of today's earthquake and try and explain what we experienced, why we experienced it, and how people experience this across the tri-state area. Earthquakes are the result of rapid motion across a fault line. And in this case, it's the Ramapo Fault. Many people might not know that it exists, but it does. And there's a vertical shift in the earth, sometimes deep and sometimes shallow, which creates a quake. And that movement releases stored up energy.
The Ramapo Fault which is the fault zone on which today's earthquake occurred, was active 200 million years ago. Plate tectonics is still responsible for the stress that builds up at the middle of plates. It's like if you're stretching a rubber band slowly so that you can't feel it at any given instant, but after a long time, when you let go, it will bounce back.
Millions of years of Earth's movement contribute to what we're seeing today. And what Professor Davis is referring to is elastic strain, and that causes seismic waves that cause the Earth to shake. Now, in the Northeast, where the Earth's crust is brittle, and earthquakes occur close to the surface, they're often felt far and wide. So a 4.8 earthquake can be felt hundreds of miles away, like we saw in Albany today. And quakes typically last just about 10 to 30 seconds, like this morning. But depending on their intensity and where they occur, they can cause significant damage. Now, what made today exceptional is not the strength, maybe for our region, but not in completely objective terms. What made it exceptional was the fact that this is one of the most densely populated corridors in the country. We have skyscrapers, complex infrastructure, not only above ground, but below it. So it's all those things. Once you check and make sure everyone is okay, it's complex to make sure everything is okay. And that's what's taken most of the day and what may take several days more. And don't forget, we may still see aftershocks, not only today, but through the next several weeks as a result of this, or even longer.
Right.
We could also see some reports of damage, too. And luckily, so far, the only reports of damage so far from this earthquake are in New Jersey's biggest city.
The earthquake shifted some homes in Newark. They now seem to be leaning on each other. News 4's Adam Harding went out to take a look. He continues our live coverage. Adam?
And good afternoon to the both of you. Certainly a wild day throughout the state, and here in Newark, this neighborhood specifically still dealing with the after effects of this morning's 4.8 magnitude earthquake. Behind us here, I want you to take a look at this row of homes here. These are multi-family apartment homes, and I want you to pay close attention here to the roof line of these three homes that are now touching. Families not allowed to stay here, at least right now. They say the homes are now leaning. In Middlesex County, a family could be seen running out of their home after Friday's 4.8 magnitude earthquake. About 30 miles from the epicenter, police in Newark called to 7th Avenue, where families say their homes shifted. Take a look at these roofs that are now touching.
I couldn't believe it until my daughter called me and said, "Ma, did you feel that?" And I said, "Oh, what was it?" And she said it was an earthquake.
All they said was the earthquake, and then maybe it shifted the house a little bit. Can you tell it like it shifted?
Paul Carey was able to get his 2 cats out. The city's safety director says 10 families, including 3 children, have since been relocated.
I heard some rumbling. I figured just from the outside. Because it was the house, it was shaking a little bit. I figured, man, it was from the outside, it was the wind.
City Hall and local rec centers now closed. Inspectors today looking for any more damage as displaced families await word it's safe to return home. And the big question now for those families, again, more than 25 displaced because of that earthquake, is when will they be allowed to return home? An inspector telling us a short time ago that's up to the city, and right now there is no timeline. We're live in Newark. I'm Adam Harding, News 4, New York.
Yeah, difficult time for them. Adam, thank you. Earthquakes are rare in New York City, but the city does know how to handle an emergency.
Yeah, News 4's Andrew Siff continuing our team coverage live in Brooklyn Heights with really a closer look at the city's response. You really had an inside look, Andrew.
Yeah, as we'll explain in a moment, it was a little bit of a coincidence for us. Now, New York City's buildings commissioner said there are more than 1 million buildings in the city, from high rises to low rises, factories, schools, everything in between. And nobody is celebrating just yet. There are inspections ahead. But for now, New York appears to have dodged this earthquake unscathed. Within minutes of New Yorkers feeling it.
The file cabinet shook.
for a few seconds. It was a little scary.
What was going through your mind?
What is happening?
The scene at the city's Office of Emergency Management, urgent. We had arrived for a planned interview about the upcoming solar eclipse. So while our cameras were rolling, the Watch Command hub became a beehive of activity. This is the same Watch Command room, by the way, that they typically employ during a snowstorm or a tropical storm. And in the Situation Room, OEM Commissioner Zach Iskel led a call with dozens of agencies.
This is a great wake-up call for all New Yorkers. Earthquakes are something that can happen in this city.
Reports emerged quickly. No major injuries, no major damage, but still somewhat jarring advice from the mayor.
And if you feel an aftershock, drop to the floor, cover your head and neck, and take cover under a solid piece of furniture.
The aftershock didn't happen, bolstering a decision by city officials not to cancel or shorten events, most notably school.
Parents do not need to pick up their child early as a result of today's earthquake. Additionally, all after-school programs will continue as planned.
But calls to 311 did spike 23%, a smaller uptick of 911 calls. And while most New Yorkers quickly went back to work,
it really felt like a train going by. Like I was like in the doorway and I'm like holding the doorway because it really just, it was just shaking.
The city's buildings commissioner said that inspections will ramp up this weekend.
Cracks that you might see that may materialize or manifest in a week or a month, or scaffolding, retaining walls. If you see something that is problematic, please call 311.
And the buildings commissioner telling us one of the reasons why they're ramping up inspections this weekend is they want to make sure they look at construction sites that may have been closed today. They've got to take a look just to make sure there were no cracks. And just to underscore the coincidental nature of our visit to emergency management, we had our Eclipse eyewear protection ready to ask the OEM commissioner about it, because after all, the solar eclipse for Monday, unlike the earthquake, this one is planned. We're live in Brooklyn Heights. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
Oh, yeah, definitely didn't plan for this one, Andrew. Thank you for that inside look. Now, the NYPD quickly jumping into action to check our bridges for any structural issues, too.
Let's get out to News 4's Mark Santia with more on our coverage. You've got an exclusive look at the patrols this afternoon, Mark.
Let's go up and let's go see what we got over here.
Taking off from the rooftop of One Police Plaza, members of the NYPD Technical Assistance Response Unit launching a drone to check all the bridges over the East River for any possible issues that may have been caused by the earthquake.
First thing that popped into my mind was, let's get these drones up so we can start inspecting these buildings and our bridges.
Deputy Commissioner of Operations Kaz Daughtry explaining how video from this close-up look is able to be shared with experts from across the city.
Looking for any anomalies, any structural deficiencies on our bridges, loose cables, bricks that were maybe about to come out but didn't fall out right away. Nothing to report right now, Mark.
From the roof to the river, the team wanted a different look from a different angle of the bridges and climbed aboard an NYPD harbor boat, hand launching the drone for a glimpse under the Brooklyn Bridge.
And right now, if they see something, we can shoot this right to. I can send this text message to the Department of Building Commissioner Jimmy Otto, and he can look and have his engineers right there in his office look to see what's going on. So far, we have seen nothing.
Again, just to reiterate, so far those drones, they have seen no issues at all. David and Natalie, every single member of the NYPD across all 5 boroughs, they've been asked to look for any structural issues, buildings, different locations while they're out on patrol. Again, at this point, we're told they have seen no issues. We're live in Lower Manhattan. I'm Mark Santia, News 4 New York.
All right, good to know. We'll keep their eyes wide open. Mark, thank you for that. Now, the earthquake hit while the Yankees were on the field getting ready for their home opener.
Yeah, News 4's John Chandler has been at the stadium all day with our coverage, continuing it now live as the game's wrapping up, John.
Yeah, and I was standing right in front of the Yankees dugout when the ground started shaking. I was right behind first base, and we all kind of looked around in that moment. Not everyone felt it, but those of us who did feel it wondered to each other, what just happened? Did you just feel that? And as soon as we quickly realized what had happened, we started to then wonder, should we be out here and will they even play this game today? The Yankees were taking batting practice at 10:23 this morning when, with Gleyber Torres in the cage, the stadium shakes. You can see the center field camera rocking as the ground beneath rumbles, and Gleyber just keeps swinging. On the field, at that moment, our News 4 camera rolls, capturing the shake. Subtle, but enough to make most look up and wonder.
I did feel some shaky stuff going underneath me. I was like, it felt almost like a train or something, like similar to the subway.
Yankees third base coach Luis Rojas looked around to see who else noticed.
I looked around. I did make eye contact with Trevino, and we both were like, did you feel something? He said yes.
Rojas pulled out his phone and texted his wife in New Jersey. At the same time, others were getting messages asking if they just felt that shake.
We were already in transit, so we didn't feel it, but we certainly felt all the phone calls that we got to alert us.
Next thing you know, I hear one of them say, oh, there's an earthquake in New Jersey.
My wife called me and said it was very bad in the building. The dog was barking. And here we are for a good day.
Jim Montesano and his family haven't missed the home opener in over 20 years. They weren't about to miss this one, even considering the circumstances. Inside Yankee Stadium still shook this afternoon, but in that man-made way we're used to in the Bronx. By first pitch, aftershocks had become afterthoughts.
Let's go, Yankees!
And so they did play baseball for the first time in the Bronx this season. The result, not what anyone was hoping for. The Yankees falling to the Toronto Blue Jays in their home opener. 3-0, the game just going final here as fans are filing out of the stadium behind me. So a forgettable result and a uniquely memorable home opener here in the Bronx. I'm John Chandler. News 4 New York. Back to you.
Yeah, a little something extra to talk about, John, for sure. Thank you. On Long Island, we spoke to people at the Dix Hills Diner this morning, just hours after the earthquake, where we heard from people who say they were stunned by what happened.
I was getting my hair cut, and my chair just started to rattle, so I thought it was like a wobbly chair. And then all of a sudden, just kept going for 4 or 5 seconds, and I'm like, what's going on? All of a sudden, I checked my phone. I got news notification. My friends are texting me, there's an earthquake, and I'm like, I couldn't believe it.
Definitely scary, but, you know, it was definitely scary. I didn't know what to think at that point when this was all happening.
It was interesting because I wouldn't expect it here. More like I hear stories about this stuff, but I guess I lived it now, yeah. So it's very interesting.
And no damage has been reported in connection to the quake on Long Island.
Well, Dave, it's not just humans who got all shook up this morning. I want you to take a look inside a home in Manville, New Jersey. Yeah, you hear the force of that quake as the dog stood atop a dining room table. Another one was, if you could see it, wandering down below. Their owner wrote on social media, yes, our husky sleeps on the dining room table while we're not home.
Natalie, today's earthquake was so rare, we had to call the big guy out of retirement. Former New Jersey reporter Brian Thompson, he says he was sitting in the kitchen of his Monmouth Beach home when he felt the rumble.
In my 27 years working at Channel 4, I covered several earthquakes in mostly western and northern New Jersey because of those fault lines up there close to the Appalachian Mountains, and never felt the earthquake that I was reporting on. I did see somebody on social media say, oh, our dog started howling. And my dog, who's sitting right next to me, basking in the sun, didn't do a doggone thing. So I'm thinking maybe I should fire her and get a new dog.
No, Brian, calm down. And don't worry, his dog is just fine, likely still basking in the New Jersey sun.
Relaxed pet. It's not bad. Not
nice
bad.
to hear from Brian.
It is. The story, especially with New Jersey, is so much a focus on.
Yes. Well, I mean, this was a significant earthquake for us. A lot of that has been put into context today. We do see smaller quakes in this region, but to have something that large is significant. This was one of the things that struck me about our earthquake data. This goes back a long time. For our weather records in Central Park, for instance, those go back to the 1860s. Our earthquake records, look at this, go back to the 1730s. So we've been keeping track of this information a long time. And around New York City, even going back almost, 200, more than 200 years. We are talking about the fourth largest earthquake on record in this area. And we felt it not just in New York City, but from that epicenter in Tewksbury down to Philadelphia, up to Albany, over to parts of Connecticut. They felt this in Hartford today, out through Long Island as well. All those little dots on the map representing folks that raised their hand and said, yeah, I felt it too.